How's it going, guys? And welcome back to Retrospect, your go-to retro gaming podcast. You're listening to episode 41. Today, I'm super pumped because we are finally giving our first impressions of The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Joining me on the mics as always, we have the king of the Koroks, Brandon Saltalamacchia. What's up, dude?
What's up? I'm doing good. I've had a week's holiday, which means I haven't had much time to play with Zelda, but enough to get me to the depths as of half hour ago of recording this podcast. So I feel like I've got in enough to know where the game's going to go. But I feel like our guest today, Emma Flint, you may have seen her around Retro Dodo on our Guides YouTube channel as well, doing tons of Tears of the Kingdom stuff. So Emma, welcome. How you doing?
Thank you, and I'm good, thanks. I'm very excited to geek out about Zelda because it is my life currently, so it'll be good to share that with everyone.
I have so many questions for you as well.
Oh my god.
We're going to lean heavily on you for any kind of questions. Now, at the very top, I did want to mention we are not probably going to go into spoiler territory too much because the game really has just been out for like almost a week, a little over a week now. So don't want to ruin it for too many people yet. So when we get into spoilery territory, I'll give us the signal, the bat signal. You'll know when I throw it up.
Okay.
But before we talk about, yeah, just like that. Before we talk about Zelda, I did want to give you a quick intro, Emma. So as Brandon mentioned, you are the guides editor for Retro Dodo. You've been doing that for how long now? A little over a year?
Actually, no, I think it's coming up to 6 months or 6 months, but it feels like I've always been here, probably because I'm just a stressful ball and whine at Brandon a lot. But no, I love it. It's like the dream gig.
Yeah,
it really is. It's fantastic.
You've been doing a lot of games in and out, haven't you? I think Zelda's been the one that you've been doing. Probably no. What was your biggest? It was probably.
I mean, you were doing Fire Emblem, and then you were doing Advance Wars, and Pokemon was massive. Pokemon's always massive.
Yeah.
There's too many Pokemon. Listen to our last episode, because as we talked about a lot, I hate how many Pokemon there are. So I feel for you having to cover all of those.
I don't know. I kind of enjoyed it, but I get what you mean.
You're a writer extraordinaire. You have work featured all over the place. So The Guardian, BBC, Metro, and The Independent, iNews, Digital Spy, and obviously Retro Dodo. But is there any other places that I missed? Because I feel like that's a pretty awesome resume of outlet.
There is some that you've missed, but like you said, I've kind of dipped in and out with loads of different publications and cover a wide variety of topics. So I think that is the best resume I could have given for me. So I'm grateful for that. That's fine. Yeah,
I was like, if there's any better ones, put them in her Twitter bio, because that's where I ripped these from. I was just like, okay, these are all the ones she's written from right here. And I scrolled through your timeline. I was like, okay, I think she posts sometimes other ones she's written for, but I didn't see any ones that weren't on this list. So perfect. These are the best ones. You've also been recently on other podcasts. I don't know how I feel about that, but you've been on podcast and radio shows. So you've got some experience in this realm as well.
I mean, I've only done a couple of podcasts, and the rest has been for BBC Radio Stoke. So a lot of the time it's live, which I don't know if I prefer or not, but it's very weird when they say I'm a retro gaming expert, and I'm like, thank you. I don't feel like I am, but yeah, I'll take it. So yeah, I've been quite enjoying that. I fool people into thinking I know what I'm talking about.
That's usually how it goes. Like everyone assumes that you're an expert, and like whenever someone says that to you, you're like, "Whoa, okay, hold on. I don't think of myself that way, but thank you. I think, yeah, that means you're a true expert." And then, last but certainly not least, you're a Mortal Kombat fan. I was never a fighting game person, but I saw when they released the newest little teaser trailer for Mortal Kombat 1, or this remake that they kind of are starting to tease out. You're like, I'm all in. This is me. I love this.
Yeah, I mean, I my first introduction to Mortal Kombat actually wasn't the games. It was the 90s film, which is like just beautiful, cheesy goodness. But I love it. But then after that, I just really got into it, and the trailer for the kind of like new era of Mortal Kombat just looks amazing, and the noises are so visceral. It's fantastic. I am all in. I don't normally like that, but I was just like, okay, split someone in half. I'm sold. I'm sold.
Have you seen how they make those sound effects? Have you watched like the behind the scenes? So like for someone's skull being crushed, it's literally like a watermelon that they just like smash in essentially, and then they like beef up the audio and like make it sound a lot more gross.
Best job ever. Imagine that being like the sound engineer for Mortal Kombat. It's like, okay, on my schedule, I need to beat up 30 watermelons.
That's honestly, they have a whole workshop of just junk everywhere. It looks like junk, but it's all very intentional items that they use to make certain sounds. And the jobs look like a ton of fun. I think that they did like a series on the Sony sound design studio recently, so that looks like a good place to work. I'll see if we can get an in with one of those people.
Jealous.
Go visit their campus and make some sounds. That'd be fun. All right, well, we're gonna skip right into the topic of the show today, y'all, because we want to talk about Zelda. We're that eager. So like we kind of mentioned, Emma's been playing. Brandon, you got a little bit over the holiday, and I've been dipping and dabbing in and out like in the mornings and then like later at night. So my total time probably is like at around like maybe 10 to 15 hours. I don't know, Emma, how far have you gotten, or how many hours do you think you've put in?
My Switch isn't screaming at me yet how many hours exactly, but I'd say it's like 30 to 35. I spent one day last week where I was like, okay, I'm going to write guides today. And then I even got a text from my mum saying, oh my God, are you alive? You've been quiet all day. And for 12 hours, I was just in Zelda and nothing else mattered. Like I barely ate. I only got up for tea. It was the best day ever. So yeah, sinking a lot of hours into it, but I can't complain. So.
Yes, it's easy to do that. And then Brandon, do you how many hours do you think you've put in so far?
I reckon 10. But
okay.
Half of that is me being in the wrong place and trying to climb enough walls to get out of it. I'm like, I've played Zelda games in my time, but this one I'm just so stupid at. Like, I just tamed a horse as well, and I've lost 3 of them. I'm just a terrible Zelda player, I think. I'm really bad.
Dude, the horses, that is a problem in these games. Even in Breath of the Wild, like you'll tame a horse and you take it to the stable. Make sure you take it to the stable at least, because you can always recall it if you lose it. But like, yeah, I'll be on a trek somewhere and then I see something that I have to climb. And I'm like, well, see you later, horse. This is the end of the road for you. I just leave them there, and they probably starve to death and they just die, and it's very sad. But
oh my God,
you move on. I named my first horse Wendell. Wendell. I thought that was a very classy name.
Emma?
Oh my God. Okay, I'm not going to sound that cool. I just named mine Ralph after my cat because it was grey. I was just like, oh yeah, it's grey. There we go. I was just relieved to have a horse at a stable, because every time I found one, I was nowhere near a stable, and getting it to survive long enough to get to the stable was such a challenge. So I was just grateful to have it and it be still alive.
Yeah, and if it dies, then it's like, dang, I'm thinking of Ralph now, and I feel sad that he's dead.
Yeah, just like...
Sorry, Ralph.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome. Well, okay, so at the top, I wanted to actually get y'all's overall thoughts, just broad blanket statement, like what you think so far of what you've played. So, Brandon, I'll let you go first this time. What have you thought so far of your 10 hours?
Yeah, in a way, it's overwhelming, but a joyous overwhelming. I know that it's not a game that I want to rush through. It's not a game where I feel like I'm missing out when everyone's 30 hours ahead or haven't lost their horses. I feel like it's a very good bang for your buck in terms of game time and game quality. That's kind of where I'm at my first 10 hours.
Okay. I like that. Emma, how about you?
Yeah, it is overwhelming, and I find that my ADHD brain is like, oh, and I just go off, and Zelda doesn't matter anymore. She can be, found later on. I'm all about the side quests and stuff, and like Brandon said, I don't want to rush it. It's weird because I'm writing guides, so I want to be on them and have them out for people, but I don't want to miss out on just the experience of it. But it is fantastic, very overwhelming, and the depths are terrifying.
Yes, they really are. I'm kind of on the same boat. So for whatever reason, this game feels a lot more overwhelming because I think of the 3-leveled system because you have the sky, you have the land, and you have the depths. So like immediately I'm like, this game is huge. I was like, I have so many things that I could go do right now. I'm having a hard time even choosing what I want my main track to be. So I've kind of been doing like, okay, here's the main objective. I'm going to go towards that. If I see something that really feels like it's worth stepping aside for, maybe I'll check it out. But typically I try to just beeline it towards like the main thing first and then backtrack. That's what I've been doing a lot of because that makes me feel better about like still progressing the story and then I can waste some time. Progress the story, then I can waste some time. You know, like that's how I've been playing the game. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't know.
No,
Man.
it does.
There's just so much. There's so much to do, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So really quickly, I did want to, how do you guys think this compares to Breath of the Wild though? So playing this game and then playing, you know, I don't know how recently y'all have played Breath of the Wild, but do you feel like it's exactly the same? Do you like, I don't know. How does that comparison rack up in your brain, Emma?
I think the last time I played Breath of the Wild is going back a couple of years ago now. So it's been a while since I've kind of dived into Hyrule, quite literally. I don't know. It's got that comforting familiarity there, but there's enough change for me that I feel like it's fresh and new and interesting. So it's kind of like meeting an old friend, but you've got something to chat about.
Yeah.
That's the best analogy I can think of.
Oh, that's really good, actually. Yeah, we'll clip that one. We'll clip that one. Brandon, how about you, man?
Yeah, I totally agree with Emma. It's like a finely aged wine, you know, that you've gone back to. You go, oh yeah, and you've got, you know, your deeper roots, you've got your depths, you've got your sky stuff, and I think it's just it's just a remarkable game. And Nintendo have made something greater in a way that I didn't think was possible.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. You know, it at first when I saw the trailers, I was like, this looks a lot like Breath of the Wild. Like, I don't know how much different this really could be. And I think a big part of it has to do with the new, so we can kind of talk about that now. I think what they've added, so I don't know if we should mention the fourth ability or not yet, because you kind of get the first three right off the bat, just like you do, and they showed these in the trailer. So there's Ultra Hand, which is the one that lets you pick up things and stick them to other things. You have the Ascend ability that lets you just shoot up through any sort of object that has a ceiling, essentially. And then you have Recall, which is sort of like a time reverse mechanic. And then the last one I'll mention because it is just one of his abilities. But there's you eventually will get this shortly after you've played the game. It's called Auto Build, and it allows you to essentially save your creations and then like just build them on the spot. With
what? I don't even have that yet. I didn't even know that was a thing. I must be like
amazing.
God, yeah. I think I've just I went up in one of the towers and I just flew off. Like, whoa, I'm a free boy. And I think I just flew over everything. I probably just flew over 10 hours of gameplay and I don't even have that yet.
No, honestly, don't worry. I don't want to spoil it for everyone, but it's a quest that you get fairly early on when you get to Lookout Landing that links to auto build. I left it for hours because I was like, I'm not going in the depths. No way.
Right.
But it's worth it. It is worth it.
Yeah, I went for it only because I saw so yeah, it's in Lookout Landing. It's like I think it is like one of the first 5 quests you get maybe. But it shows you, there's like a little hieroglyph that is sitting in like the little research lab, and it has another sigil that looks just like one of your other abilities. And I was like, I should probably check that out. I should probably see what that's about because I was like, I want to make sure I'm not missing out on something. And yeah, it was terrifying to go down there, but it was worth it, I think. So let's talk about the mechanics and kind of just our general thoughts on those. So Emma, I'll let you go on the mechanics. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Okay, so I'm going to sound like such a square. There's another ability. It's Fuse. So for your weapons and stuff.
Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about Fuse. You're right. I'm so sorry.
No, I mean, to be fair, I'm using it a lot. I'd say that Ascend is probably the one that I use the most. I just love it because the amount of times I'm like, how do I get up there? I can't climb, bang. And then I'm up there. Because I really do just try and scale anything. And the definition of stupid is to keep doing it and expecting a different outcome, because normally I'm sliding down and hanging up for dear life. I do like recall, but I find that my timing can be very off. So I'm like launching myself at a fallen down boulder and it's gone before I've reached it. And I'm just kind of in midair looking very sorry for myself.
Nope. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Link looks like, are you kidding me? We're going through this again. But I do love auto build. I think for people that haven't got it yet, brave the depths for it, because it just speeds everything up immensely.
Yeah. How about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm liking all of them. And a little fact, you know, the reason they may have called it Ultra Hand, because Gunpei Yokoi originally made the Nintendo toy that was like a hand that extends and pulls things back. I think it was like a cheap toy, you know, probably like
a little
$10,
Easter egg.
But yeah, a little Easter egg for y'all. Yeah, I'm the same as Emma again. You know, the one where you go up into the walls ascend. That's my favorite. Just because I'm an idiot. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I just go off track and I see shiny things and I just go to it. And I believe that this game makes me feel incredibly stupid all the time. We've had this conversation in the Retro Dodo group chat, and it makes things look so complex, but it's just right in your face.
Yep. Yeah, Nintendo is usually really good about giving you clues or pointers as to what you're supposed to do, like in puzzles or whatever. But every now and then, like I walk into a room and there's just nothing in there, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do in here? And then I look up and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to use Ascend here. Okay.
Yeah.
I like the abilities. I think they're ingenious, and I think it's been fun seeing all the game developers or designers talk about how this game is just a marvel that it even exists with what they're able to do. I am glad that auto build exists, because I think one of my earliest complaints or thoughts was like, dude, I don't want to have to continue to keep on sticking things to things and doing this because it's so tedious. Like building your first cart at one of those cart stations, I was just like, this isn't that, like, I don't enjoy doing this, to be honest. Like this is, you have to get the wheels just right or else they won't roll. You have to make sure they're like glued to the actual frame. And I was like, this is going to be annoying. I have to do this multiple times. And then they add the auto build feature that lets you essentially just do it in like 2 seconds. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. They thought about this. But the other abilities are great. I don't find myself using fuse all that much. Like I know I should be using it more, but I keep on picking up weapons that are already fused with stuff. And I like want to make sure I'm optimizing my fuse like as best as I can. So I'm like, oh, okay, I need a freaking rock hammer. I got to find a rock somewhere. I got to make a stupid hammer again. But like,
because certain enemies have weaknesses to certain fused elements, don't they? I think I read.
Yes. So if there's like a flame enemy, if you use like one of the ice choo-choos on them, it'll like obliterate them. Same thing if it's an ice enemy, if you use a fire arrow on them, it'll like just melt them in 2 seconds. So like, yeah, knowing those is helpful. But even still, like, I don't know what half of the things do that I have in my inventory. And I'm like, I'm not too interested to try, but like I have like 100 things in my inventory. So I'm like, okay, what happens if I shoot this lizard tail at this guy? Is that going to do anything? You know, and I'm just like, I'm just going to hit him with my sword. I'm just going to run up to him and just hit him. I don't know. I don't want to test it out. I don't know if that's been the same for you guys or not.
I'm terrible because I actually wrote a guide on beginner tips, and one of my top tips was don't hoard. My inventory says otherwise. I am not adhering to my own tips. Simply because at first I kind of forgot to use fuse because it's not a mechanic I'm readily used to. But the amount my weapons break is painful, and it's normally when I'm recording a guide and I'm like, oh my god, why now? So I've started using my items up a lot more, and I do a lot of cooking, so I steadily get through. But I was a hoarder, I'm ashamed to admit, after telling everybody not to hoard.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to, because it's just they drop so many things anytime you go somewhere. You're like, oh, okay, I have goblin guts now. I have 20 different types of horns. I guess I can use all of these for something. Yeah, and then like the cooking is, I've had to cook a lot more in this game, I feel like, because everywhere I go I'm just getting destroyed. So I'm just like, all right, before I go into a big area, I probably should get some more hearty skewers or mushroom shish kebabs. It's been good though. It's been good. So another major element, general thoughts on storyline. We're not going to try and go too spoilery in this, but of what you've experienced so far, what are your thoughts on the storyline? Brandon, I'll let you go first on this one.
For me, it was incredibly easy to understand, which I think is good for both the Know the Zelda storyline and those new to the scene. I think there's going to be a lot of gamers that are coming new into this Zelda game, just because the amount I see it across social media, the marketing around it has been huge. I think they had advertising in Times Square in New York as well. Like it's everywhere, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be picking this up that haven't played any Zelda games. So in that perspective, I think Nintendo did a very good job at making the first 10 hours quite understandable. They kind of give you a guide on where to go and what to do and to save Zelda, which I think was easy to understand. That's as far as I've got, really.
Yeah. How about you, Emma?
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I do agree with Brandon with that. It's so easy to dip in as a newbie, but there's also a lot there that if you're coming back and you're a veteran Zelda fan, it's familiar. I'd like that, so far from my experience, and I'm not going to get too spoilery, how they always repackage Ganon. I find that fantastic, because he's such a recognizable villain, an overall boss, and yet there's always something fresh about it that makes it interesting and adds new depth of lore for the current story and past stories. So yeah, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I am too. So that, I think, was one of the major complaints of Breath of the Wild back in the day, is that there really wasn't like a strong storyline. You were just kind of there. You woke up late and everyone was gone, and so you're trying to find what was going on. And they gave you these little fragments if you sought them out. So they're like, here's a little storyline piece, here's a little storyline piece, and here you go. Have fun with that. But this one, it seems like Nintendo has been very intentional about giving players a lot more cutscenes and a lot more character development, at least in the people you interact with even. So there's like individual cutscenes for when you go to Lookout Landing and you meet Pura for the first time. And if anyone's played Breath of the Wild, there is a lot of like fun crossover that you would pick up on. So characters that you would have met in Breath of the Wild are now older. And so it's kind of cool seeing what they look like now that they've grown up a little bit. And I just feel like they've put a lot more into the characters. So not to get too far into spoiler stuff. So if you don't want to hear anything about this, you can go ahead and skip ahead. But the very first dungeon that you go to, at least the one that they recommend you go to, is the I'm blanking, the Sky Temple essentially, or the Wind Temple. Right? Is it the Wind Temple?
Yeah.
With the Rito? Okay, I'm just making sure it's Wind. And you team up, and he gets a whole, your side character gets a whole kind of cutscene in his own moment, and he gets to talk to like one of the elder sages, and I feel like those had just a whole lot more behind them. They were a lot more impactful. And I don't know. I put on the Japanese voice acting. I don't know what you guys choose for your run through, but I am loving it. I think it's so good because it feels like I'm watching an anime. Like whenever they do a cutscene, I'm like, nice. Okay, yeah. This is hype. This is hype. Have you guys chosen English or Japanese for your?
Brandon, do you want to go first, or?
I'm still on English. Yeah, I didn't even know you could change it to Japanese.
Oh yeah, they got all kinds of languages.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm on English too. I think just because it's a bit like anime. When I watch it, I'm familiar with the voice actors, whether it's Japanese or the dubbed version, and I want to stick with it. It's just kind of that nostalgia immediately connected to it, so that's why I kept it in English. But I bet the Japanese sounds incredible and does add like a little extra something. So I'm tempted to do that now, but I'm worried that my brain would be like, no, you need to go back.
Yeah. So I played the first game in all English, and it's nothing against like the voice actors, like Will Wheaton, who's voicing Ganon. Is it Will Wheaton that's voicing Ganon? I'm pretty sure it is, or maybe not Will Wheaton. Anyways, a well-known voice actor is voicing Ganon, and I'm sure he's going to do a great job. But I just have had an issue with the English voice acting in the past. I replayed the opening sequence of Breath of the Wild recently with my friend, and I was like, man, this is just not very good. Like, I don't know if I like this. But in Japanese, I can't really tell if it's good or bad because I don't know what they're saying. But like the emphasis behind it sounds like it matches the scene more, and I'm like, this is sick. This is cool. So I'm enjoying that. And again, I'm always reading the subtitles anyways. So for me, I'm always like, I know what's going on. I do also think, really quickly, I do think it's unfortunate with what they've done with Zelda. I think we were hoping potentially to be able to play or see more of Zelda in the storyline, and maybe we will. I don't know. We haven't gotten far enough yet to really say yes or no. But it seems at the moment she's been sidelined completely in terms of what she can do. She is stuck in the past, stuck somewhere. Maybe spoilers. So sorry for that one too, friends who are listening. But I mean, again, that's like revealed in like the first like 10 minutes. So I don't know.
Fair.
All right. So we have a ton of games that are coming out this year. And so my question to you guys is, do you think that this is already 2023's game of the year? And I put some other ones down just to kind of give folks a quick idea of what we have coming out. So already we've had Jedi Survivor, Dead Space, Resident Evil 4, Hogwarts Legacy, and probably a few others that are like really stand-ups. But then it's coming soon. We have Final Fantasy 16, we have Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, Starfield, Hades 2, and Spider-Man 2 coming out. So in a year like that, Emma, do you think that Breath of the Wild is going to be 2023's game of the year?
That's really hard because like Jedi Survivor is beautiful. Dead Space was such a hit in the face of nostalgia and me just screaming at my console, just like, no, I'm not prepared for this. I don't know. I think Tears of the Kingdom, it is a fantastic game and it's lived up to the hype for a lot of people so far. So possibly it's got it in the bag. But like you said, it's such a good year for games, particularly towards the back end, that it's hard to know if something's going to sneak attack and just beat it. But at the moment, I'd say that's probably my favorite, though Jedi Survivor's really quite high up there. I'm a Star Wars fan through and through. So.
Yeah, I've heard great things. I want to check that out. Brandon, how about you? What are your thoughts?
It's definitely in the top 5, I think. Will I think it will win the game of the year? Probably not. It's a superb game, and I think it's well worth the money. It's in-depth, it's great for Zelda fans and great for newbies, but it isn't innovative in many ways. Yes, the mechanics are great, and they can kind of force you out of any problem and solve any issue and beat any boss, depending on how smart you are. But in terms of graphics and technicalities and stuff, it's not super innovative in that sense. But yeah, I think it's probably going to be one of the best-selling games of the year, hands down.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you guys both kind of touched on this because it's not the first time that we've seen something like this. Even though a lot of it is very new and impressive, but it still does feel a lot like Breath of the Wild in a lot of ways. I think that's the only thing that could keep it back from being a game of the year, shoe-in. But I also think I just feel like I've seen so many people just so high on this game. And I mean, obviously it's Zelda, so people will be high on it for a very long time. But I just think sales numbers too also indicate its popularity, because I think it already has sold 10 million copies, or maybe even more. I think they put up the numbers recently, and this has done marginally better than almost all other Zelda titles because I think of how successful Breath of the Wild was. People were like, I liked that game, and it's just brought in a whole new era of people that want to play it again. So I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say probably. I'm going to go ahead and say yes, because people just freaking love Zelda. There's just something about it. But we'll come back in a year and we'll see if we were right or wrong, and we'll link to this episode.
Did Breath of the Wild win Game of the Year the year it came out?
Yes, a lot. Well, I mean, from certain publications, it just depends on who you're looking at. But the overall consensus, yes, I would say a lot of people voted it as their favorite or the Game of the Year. So closing this out, I wanted to just give you guys one last time to just mention anything about Tears of the Kingdom that you think people should know going in, or any sort of advice you might like to give. And Emma, as you're the expert guides writer for us, what would be like the one thing you would tell people who are going into Tears of the Kingdom, or who are already there, that they might want to know when they're playing?
To just slow down and enjoy it. I mean, it's a big game anyway, so it's not like you can power through it, though I have seen a couple of people have finished like the main quests. But yeah, just enjoy it because there's so much there, and actually a lot of side quests add more texture to the main storyline. So just go at your own pace and not worry about getting it all done in one, because I think you'd really miss out on a lot of cool Easter eggs that go back to Breath of the Wild and even earlier games.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Take your time. I like that. Brendan, how about you, bro?
Just don't climb for the whole game and don't fly off across the map thinking you can take on anything. Like I just found a red hole. I found a red hole just before this podcast, and I jumped in it and I can't get out, and I'm like fighting guys with like a level 6 sword, and I'm screwed. And I get myself in these situations all the time where I'm like on it for 2 hours trying to tame a horse. So like I think, like Jake said, you need to follow the storyline as closely as you can, and then just be like, I'm going to go off for a couple hours, but I'm going to come back. Or you kind of go off and I don't know where I've left, and then I'm screwed. So I think I need to take a step back.
That's good. That's good. Don't jump into the giant red holes. Just avoid those.
Yeah.
They're super scary. I think my advice would be try to do the towers if you can sooner rather than later, even if you're not going to go to the objectives, because I like to open up the whole map so I can see where everything is. And then the objectives make a whole lot more sense, because if I don't know what I'm going towards, I get distracted a whole lot more easily. I'm like, okay, I'm in this unknown area and I have no idea what I'm going towards. And then I see like something else in the corner and I'm like, all right, I'll check that out first, then I'll go back over here. And it's like Brandon was saying, like you kind of forget what you were supposed to be doing, or you forget what direction that thing was that you were headed to, and you're like, dang it, I don't know where I am now. And but if you ever do get lost, I don't know if you guys do this, I go back up to the sky. I just find like my nearest, shrine that has a location close to where I'm trying to go in the sky, and then I'll just jump off and glide down, or I'll put a little bird glider up there and try to get as close as I can. Like that's the fastest way for me to like get somewhere quickly, is I just jump off the island with one of those gliders and fly forever.
I would suggest I put so many markers on the map, particularly the glowing ones that are colourful, because particularly when you're up in the sky and gliding down, you can orientate yourself to get there, because I have hit most of the towers because I want to open up the map, and have been in areas that I'm so not ready for, but I just want the towers so I know what I'm doing. And I find that having a point on the map that's glowing just is far easier for me to find. Otherwise, I will go off and do things.
Yeah. The actual the stamps that actually have the shiny tower, those are a lot easier to look at than just your little. I think you almost have like 100 stamps. I don't even know how many other stamps they give you in the map, but yeah, you can stamp all kinds of stuff. Yeah, the shiny ones are the best ones for sure. That's a great tip.
Use that advice.
That's a great tip. We should write a guide about that. Use the shiny stamps. All right. Well, Brandon, did you want to close out with some housekeeping, or do you want to?
Yeah, I can do indeed. So just a heads up, guys, that a Handheld History 88 to 95 is still for sale. Shipping begins in Q4, so if you get your pre-order in now, you will be able to get that before Christmas. So head over to handheldhistory.com and you can grab yourself a copy there.
Do it. And be sure to write into the show, just like Forbidden Chief did on YouTube. He said, great podcast so far. I know you're busy, but Brandon, I had a question for you. Do you plan on making any more of your top picks lists? Would love to see what your top go-to games are nowadays, or your favorite retro games spread out over all consoles. Also enjoying anything from you that involves games, consoles, or toys from your childhood. I'm 34 and I love anything that hits my childhood nostalgia. Much love to all of you and keep up the good work.
What a lovely comment.
Forbidden Chief, thank you so much. And yeah, Brandon, you got any ideas for some top lists coming out soon?
Yeah, so funny enough, Rob put up a top 10 PS2 games video the other day. So that's on our YouTube channel, and Seb wrote one about the top 10 games like Tears of the Kingdom. So we're definitely doing more top pick stuff. It's almost like you read the future there, Forbidden Chief.
Wow. But yeah, check out RetroDodo.com for all of our fantastic Zelda content and a whole lot more. But unfortunately, y'all, that is the end of our podcast. Listeners, what are your thoughts so far on Tears of the Kingdom? We'd love to know. Write into us at Retrospect at RetroDodo.com, or you can comment on your preferred listening channel, YouTube, Spotify, you name it. Emma, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. Where can guests find you on the interwebs?
I'd say Twitter's probably easiest, and my handle's Literate Elf. So yeah, you'll just find me flailing into the void about games mainly, and a few other
Why
things.
Elf? There's a question.
Because my initials spell Elf, so my dad deliberately named me Emma Louise so it would spell it.
That's cute.
I like that, though. The literate elf herself. I put that at the very top. I like that. It rhymes. Very nice.
I like that as well, particularly when you say it. Your voice is just, it makes it sound so much better than when I'm like, yeah, literate elf, like proper Derbyshire.
I'll send you a voice recording you can use for all of your closeouts on your videos or guides.
Thank you. Oh, that'd be amazing.
This has been another production by the literate elf herself. Something like that.
I like it.
All right, Brandon, how about you? Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
At Retro_Dodo everywhere, and we've just launched, we're launching in the next week or two, our second website, cardgamer.com, so head over there. On Twitter, cardgamer.com. Yeah, it's a new publication that we're excited about. We're currently building it in the background, and that'll launch next month. So if you're into card games, trading card games, it's all for you there.
All the things are there. And for me, it's always the same, BITBLOGGIST. Until then, y'all, we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.